Welcome to the second video on healing and specifically energetic healing. My name is Igor and I am an energetic, intuitive and psychic healer. So in this video, I'd like to talk about healing, but specifically what do we need to heal from? And it really comes down to two things. The first is trauma and the second thing is conditioning. So what are these things? The first, trauma, gets thrown around a lot in different contexts. But just to simplify, trauma is the constriction of consciousness or the constriction of the nervous system when we are not able to process a certain event that happens to us. It gets stuck. And when it gets stuck, it will affect the body, it will affect the emotions, and it affects the mind. So for example, let's say somebody witnesses a catastrophic incident, the shock and the lack of support to process this incident will get stuck in the nervous system, can get stuck in the nervous system. And the nervous system is simply trying to conclude that experience, trying to process it through. But when somebody's not aware of it, is not supported to go through it, it gets stuck, creating all sorts of symptoms and chaos on a mental, emotional, and physical way. Most trauma, depending on the person, but a lot of our trauma is definitely something that happens in childhood through our families. There are such things as transgenerational trauma that passes down from one generation to the next. So a child can and often does take on the trauma of their families, but that's a topic for another video. Conditioning, the second thing that we generally, if we want to grow, can heal from, is something that happens simply because those are the rules of the culture, the rules of the family, the rules of our peers that we grew up in. And so as a child who's very open, they will get conditioned by other people's opinions, behaviors, in order to fit in to the family, to the culture, to the workplace, etc., etc. And so conditioning is therefore a narrowing of options within our consciousness. So instead of being completely free and liberal and taking off my clothes and running around, I live in a culture where that is not permitted. So I am conditioned to wear clothes. And so there's a narrowing within my nervous system of what I can and can't do. Healing is the process of deconditioning our system. Now, that doesn't mean that I'm just going to take off my clothes and run around. But it does mean that now I don't feel like if I chose to do that, I was in imminent danger from exclusion or excommunication from society, from culture, from friends, from family. So healing is the deconditioning of our nervous system that has taken on the rules and the regulations and the norms of society, of culture, of family, etc., etc. Gives us more freedom, gives us more options. Healing from trauma is similar because it's still working well on the nervous system and what is stuck in the nervous system, certain rules, certain inhibitions, certain emotions and fears that need to be healed in order to gain more freedom. And I, as an intuitive energetic healer, generally I experience trauma and conditioning within a client's nervous system in a similar way. They will be telling a story and there will be something underneath that. And underneath that, I will be feeling I'm sensitive enough to pick up this information as any other sensitive healer would be. And when I am privy to this information, I'm able to bring the client's awareness to it, and I'm able to shift that energy, shift a part of the trauma, all of the trauma, shift the conditioning in the nervous system. And when this happens, that energy doesn't exist in the nervous system anymore. It's moved, it's been processed, it's been integrated by the person. And so the story that they've been telling others and themselves then changes, because all of a sudden, let's say from, oh my God, the world is a dangerous place, or relationships are a dangerous place to be, because let's say I had trauma about it in the past, the story doesn't exist anymore because those emotions and those experiences from the past have been processed through the nervous system. And so the individual can now have the option to step into a new relationship, let's say, and be completely free, as if turning a new leaf in a book, starting a new chapter, seeing it with fresh eyes. So that is something that I wanted to cover today. Trauma and conditioning, in a very brief nutshell, how it's experienced or how it's stored, and how energetic healing can work. If you are feeling drawn to this work, there is a link below. You can follow that to the Facebook page. There's some more detailed writing around all these subjects, including, and please click on the subscribe if you like to follow the channel and the videos, and feel free to contact me on the email address in the link below. I will see you in the next video.